Hello and welcome again. In this video, I'm going to talk about my bunny setup. When I got my bunnies, I didn't know anything about bunnies. This setup has changed over the course of probably a year into several different things. So in that corner over there, the tin can is their hay, and then the other container is their bedding. Now, a lot of people are going to tell you that you need to use that paper bedding, and you do not. You do not need to spend that much money because that stuff is really expensive. All you need is to go to Walmart. Hi, buddy. Let's show you to everybody because you're nudging me. All you need to do is go to Walmart and get yourself aspen bedding. It's safe for rabbits. Do not get pine. Pine is not safe. Get aspen bedding, and it's just like wood shavings, just like anything else. I have an air purifier in here. That's basically because of the fur, which it's covered in fur, of course. Because rabbits, if you didn't know, molt twice a year. It seems like it's forever. So it seems like they're molting absolutely forever. One molt just goes into another, and there's never any normal shedding. That's just life with rabbits. This is their bucket of treats. I make my own treats, so there's mostly these kinds of things in there that's made of chopped up hay, ground up hay, and bananas. Treats are just that, treats. I know it's tempting to give your bunny a ton of treats, but it's not good for them. These are what I use in their box, their litter box. And once again, people are probably going to tell you that you should not use puppy pads in the bunny box. These are rabbit pads, actually. I went ahead and bought rabbit pads because Tulip does chew the edges up, but I did notice that it looks like they're carbon lined to help with odor. And of course, being Tulip, the first time I put one of these in the box, she jumped right in on it and peed on it immediately because she was upset that I was cleaning her box. And it absorbed that pee so fast. It was super fast. And then I have paper towels for cleaning, and I use this Nature's Miracle. So we'll start over here. This white dish is the dish that they get their vegetables on every morning, and they get romaine lettuce and cilantro. Occasionally they'll get turnip greens, and occasionally they'll get bok choy. The romaine lettuce is primarily what they get. Cilantro, surprisingly, is sometimes cheaper than Italian parsley, so that's why I get cilantro. They have a water bowl. It is a heavy ceramic water bowl. And because they like to jump in it and throw toys in it, there's a blue dish underneath to catch the water so it doesn't go down into the carpet. You need a very heavy dish because they are tantrum throwers, and they will pick the end of that dish up and just toss it, and you'll have water everywhere. In the olden days, people use those bottles that go in and they have to lick the bottle to get the water. Rabbits do not like that. They will do it because they need water, but they don't like it. It's not natural for them. You have to water your rabbit out of a bowl. That's the best way to get them water, and they drink 3 times as much if it's coming out of a bowl. Just make sure it's heavy. And then you change the water every day, every other day. They're not like dogs where they're going to slime into it. So the most it ever gets in it is fur, because everything's covered in fur in here. So then we have a toy box, which is just a plastic box. I think I got it at the dollar store. And there's some toy things in there. This thing actually holds treats, and it's for chickens. So I didn't need to buy a bunny one, something bunny that holds treats. It's for chickens. It was super cheap. I've got pieces of wood covered in hair. This is off my peach tree that I have in my yard. Rabbits can have fruit tree wood. That's why I have it. They don't really chew on it that much. They have some sisal rope to chew on. This is a dog toy, and they played with it when they were younger, but not so much anymore. Then you have to have a place for them to house themselves if they need to get away. If they're afraid, they need to get away. Sometimes they sleep in there. So originally the cage I'm going to show you that their food is in was something I used for their home. And originally, the very first house they had was one of those cheapy wooden specific rabbit hutches that you can get. And it was made in China, super cheap. And I had to get rid of it because Poppy was literally chewing it in half. He had almost all the little legs chewed right off. So I got rid of it because all he was doing was eating it and it was going to fall apart anyways. So we had to do something else. And trial and error, I went with this. They can't chew it. They can get in it if they're scared. They have a mat inside of it that is for scratching, which you can see they've eaten it up. That's specifically for rabbits, so I don't worry about it. But that box is a cat box. It's one of those cat boxes that you put out on your thing for stray cats to keep warm in the winter. That's what it is. And it's perfect. They go in it all the time. That's just a rag thing, just because it's in there. This is their bathrooming setup. I'm watching Poppy off the corner of my eye because he's about to do something naughty. Oh no, he can't figure out how to do it. Here, I'll show you Tulip. Hey, Tulip. Evil looking. So this is the cage. I ended up going with this cage. And this is like kind of the third cage setup thing that I've had for their bathroom. I started with, when they were babies, little plastic litter boxes that were small enough for when they were young. They were tiny, so two of them could fit in it. And then when they got older, like Poppy is twice as big as Tulip is. And so they started not being able to fit in it anymore. So I had to go with something bigger. Then I had one of those stainless steel cat litter boxes, a really big one. And that was good for a little while, but they make messes, which is par for the course. They dig the bedding out, they throw it everywhere. Every time they hop in or hop out, they get, bedding everywhere. So to keep their area cleaner, I went with one that had grates on it, so that everything kind of goes down. There's not so much, but you can see you still get stuff everywhere. You still get hay everywhere. That hay feeder is something that I made myself, and I have alternately used other hay feeders within the life of these rabbits, and I always come back to the one I made because they eat so much hay in one day that nothing made for rabbits holds enough hay for these rabbits to eat because they eat so much hay. So if you're struggling with hay feeders, just make one. Just make a hay feeder. It's super cheap. It's way cheaper than a bunny hay feeder. They're so expensive and they're small. Yes, some bunnies are small, but like Poppy's humongous. Hold on, we gotta check and see if he's doing something naughty. There he is. Nope, he can't figure it out. He can't figure out how to get up on my table and eat something. Good. So that's what I went with as far as that. Now, they love a good tunnel. Bunnies love a good tunnel. And the tunnels that you can buy bunnies are the same as the tunnels that you buy cats. They have that wire in them and that cheapo polyester lining and all that. So this is an upgrade of one of those, so it's got a little bed on it. This is actually the fourth tunnel they've had because the first tunnel they grew out of. It was small when they were babies, and they grew out of it when they got big, especially Poppy. The other two tunnels were those cheapy cheapies that you can get, that cheap, real thin material, and Poppy destroyed them quickly, or they would throw them around. And I didn't want them to throw them around, or they would get on top of them and smash them flat, and that defeats the purpose of a tunnel. So I went with a more expensive tunnel. It's a cat tunnel, because cat ones are cheaper. If you're looking to save money, cat ones are cheaper. But Poppy quickly started destroying it, and the whole bottom is torn out. So now what we have in there is we have the tunnel because it looks super cute, and it's got a bed on it and everything. And on the inside, I have metal ductwork that I have taped to take care of sharp edges. So it's no fun anymore. They can't scratch holes in the bottom of it because it's metal, and they can't chew it up because it's metal. But it's going to save me from buying more tunnels. So that's what we go with. And you saw Tulip went in and out of it. She's fine with it. There's some more toys. We have lots of chewing things. Most of these are all wood because that's what they chew, wood. So the only way to keep their teeth down and from overgrowing is for them to chew. So they have to chew hay and they have to chew wood. They have stacking cups, and that's their angry stacking cups, because when they get mad, that's what they do. They throw them. I do give them cardboard, and they have some wood outside for when they're running around, but when I'm not in the room, they stay in here. It's pretty large. I'll back it up again so you can see. It's very large. Hey, buddy. I have learned, there's Poppy, look, he's trying to find a way to get on top of that table and chew up the stuff I'm working on. That's what he's doing. I've learned that rabbits are definitely not supposed to be kept in cages. Now, I got Poppy from somebody that raised rabbits for food. They didn't want him. And he was in a cage with his mother. And the cage was about the size of his litter pan thing. And that's where they lived, outside in that cage. And that is no place for a rabbit because they need to hop around. The only way they're going to get exercise is if they hop around. And if they can't hop, they can't exercise. And their legs will atrophy and they won't get muscle tone. And so you have to exercise your rabbits. Now, all these fancy rabbit content creators that have beautiful setups and blah, 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 that's great. If you have the money for that, go ahead and buy it. You're going to replace everything eventually anyways because they're going to eat it. They chew on everything, everything. I'll show you underneath my crafting table because I've had to bunny-proof this room. So you can see I have fence everywhere, all along the whole bottom, and it goes around the back of this couch because they chew everything. Metal and the heavy plastic is the only thing they can't bite through. That's the only thing. So wherever you keep your rabbits, you need to rabbit proof. They will, right here, that's Poppy chewed it. They'll chew furniture, they chew wood, anything they can bite their teeth through, they will chew it. So I watch a lot of rabbit content creators, and they have beautiful setups, and it always looks nice and clean, and their rabbits are just running through their house, and that's fine for them. My rabbits have to be in here because we have dogs, which I'll do in another video, but they have to be in here, so I come in and let them run around and be rabbits and all that good stuff. But if you wanted a rabbit like those rabbits on the content creator videos, you have to stay home and you have to train that rabbit. And even then, the rabbit might not listen to you because that's just how rabbits are. Poppy understands what the word no means, but it's optional for him. He either does the no and goes away from whatever, or he's like, whatever, I'm going to do it anyway. That's just how it is. Rabbits are not, they're very cute. They're not difficult pets, apart from they're a little expensive, and they need, can you get out of there? And they need attention and training and all that stuff. So if you have a child that's begging you for a rabbit, or if you're thinking of getting a rabbit, think about how long you're in the house for. If your child goes to school and you're at home, you are raising the rabbits, not your child, because they will need you to care for them during the day. Especially if you're making your rabbit a house rabbit, where it's going to move around the house, because you got to keep an eye on them. If you are wanting a rabbit as an adult and you work outside the house for long, long hours, rethink that, because your rabbit will get lonely and they need you to be with them. You can't just ignore them. I come in here and see, I don't work, I stay home, and I come in here and I see my rabbits for several hours in the afternoon and then another hour or two in the evening, and I give them pettins and I give them treats, and they love being petted. This is Poppy. Poppy is a mixed breed albino rabbit. He's got red eyes. I think if he was not an albino, he'd have blue eyes, because I can see it, sort of see blue in there sometimes. But the vet didn't quite know what he was. He's a big boy, though. He's 5 pounds. He hates being picked up. So unlike the rabbits on some of those videos where people can just scoop their rabbits up, I cannot scoop him up. Even though he loves me and he'll sit with me and he'll let me pet him and whatever, I'm not allowed to pick him up. I can't do it. I can't cut his nails. I can't, he will thrash around, and just, he does not want to get picked up. Of course the vet can pick him up. And then we have Tulip. Tulip is a Holland Lop. She is a purebred Holland Lop. I think that the color of her is called lavender or something. She's gray and she has brown eyes. But she's a Holland Lop. She is 2.5 pounds, so she's half Poppy's size. She will let me pick her up occasionally. Getting her is difficult because she'll squiggle and squirm. But once I have her, she'll stop and she'll let me hold her for a little while, which is good because she's the one that molts constantly. She's always got fur that needs combed out. But she has a bad attitude, and she likes to bite people. And the person that she likes to bite is my daughter, Jordan, who comes and takes care of her sometimes. She comes and takes care of my animals if we have to go somewhere. And the first time she came to take care of them, we went on a week-long cruise, and Tulip got very comfortable with biting her and drawing blood. So she does sort of come after me once in a while, but she really just bumps me with her teeth. But I scold her, and she knows she can't get away with that. So most of the time we're on good terms. But she constantly goes after Poppy and it rips his fur out. You know, if she's mad, she's going for Poppy. So think about those things before you get a rabbit, because they can be mean, and it's just part of her personality. It's just who she is. Hey, buddy. Hey, sweet boy. You say hi to the people? No, I'm going to chew on your phone case, Mom. Right? Chew on your phone case? See, he's a good boy, and he loves his scratches. He loves getting pet. I just can't pick him up. So the final thing for this video I'm going to show you is the comb. Rabbits have such thin, fine hair that I've tried so many different kinds of combs and brushes, and none of them worked. So this is the magic comb. It's a rabbit comb. It's made for rabbits. It's got those little rubber things that kind of catch the fur. This is the only comb that works on my rabbits to get the fur out of them when they are shedding. If you have a rabbit or you get a rabbit, this is the comb. That's the one you want. Don't buy anything else. Just buy this. That's it. So from Poppy and Tulip, we're going to sign off, and I'll see you next time.